Voodoo determines and presides over Haitian society. It is always present in a world where everything that happens, be it good or bad, is attributed to the direct intervention of the spirits. Liona Beach is a place of pilgrimage. Preachers from the most distant parts of the country come here to perform Guiné ceremonies and beseech the favor of Azuli, Mother Earth, the goddess of love, who is identified in syncretism with the Virgin Mary. In the shade of the sacred trees, families take turns to perform their ceremonies. They mainly offer food and rum and wait for Azuli to appear for her to take possession of someone's body, in this case, the woman with the red scarf. Azuli likes to flirt and seduces people without distinguishing between sexes. She may enter the body of a man or of a woman, but everybody will immediately recognize her because of her suggestive movements. Each preacher recognizes different beings in this procession. Its syncretic translation would be the Virgin of High Grace, the Black Virgin or the Virgin of Monte Carmelo, and sometimes Saint Philomena, identified in Voodoo with the siren who comes out of the sea or out of fresh water. Other participants also go into deep trances. People help them and respect them, as in these movements their souls are outside their bodies. The luas or spirits have taken over their bodies in order to express their wishes. During these processions there are frequent displays of the protection conferred on them by the influence of the deity that dwells inside them. Each lua has different colors, so different colored scarves are used to call them. White carlin powder is used to attract certain deities and to identify them. Azuli has just recognized one of her followers by the rings that adorn his hands. These are wedding rings that show that the man has married her. Each person may marry his protective lua. They gather their relations and witnesses together and go to the Onfo, or Voodoo temple, where a mystic wedding is held. From this moment on, the earthly spouse will have to abstain from sexual intercourse on certain days specified by his lua. For example, Azuli prescribes Tuesdays and Thursdays, and on these days she may become before her servants in her dreams. Here in Limonade, Voodoo lives alongside the church. The devotees alternate their religious customs without any problems. From the olden days, when the settlers prohibited their African religious services, the slaves were forced to praise their gods whilst kneeling before a Catholic icon. In this way, syncretism arose and the majority of the lua have their corresponding Christian deity or saint. Flags announce that this is a sacred place, a room where spirits dwell. This is Josephine's house. Her lua friend revealed to her in a dream how she would paint her yard in order to favor an encounter with the spirits that live in these trees. Voodoo philosophy is very closely linked to nature and therefore has an ecological bent. Nobody dares to cut down trees as these are normally inhabited by spirits, and especially Loco, the protector of the woods. Lakus, small villages that have arisen around a temple, can be found throughout the country. A great sacred Mapu, as they call the Saibas, presides over the Laku of the Congo. The power of these Saibas comes from the belief that they can talk to the gods. Unfortunately, most of them were cut down by the French during their struggle against the slaves' revolt. The Lakus are self-sufficient population cells. Work is communal as the product obtained from the work. Each Laku is run by a Hugan, or voodoo priest, who is called Mambo in the case of a woman, and he or she is assisted by a council of elders. Its inhabitants normally have the same African roots: Congo, Ndomi, Mandingo, Ui, etc. There is a Paris style inside the temple which is dominated by the Potomitan, the pillar by which the forces that have been invoked may descend. The altar reflects once again the syncretism of this religion, which was born in times of war, but now keeps its machetes buried as a sign of peace. The Ungan carries out a cleansing operation that also serves as a protection against spells, and he shows us the house of Shango, the lure of thunder and catastrophes, equivalent to Saint Barbara. This other Laku is Domi. Its architecture takes us to another African region from which the Yoruba deities, the orexás, departed. The Voodoo religion acts as a bonding force for the people. It joins and fits together the range of different customs of the different ethnic groups from which the slaves that populated Haiti came. It helps to prop up a society that owes its existence to this religion. Other sacred places include the lagoons where the spirits that clean, heal, and bring luck to believers live. In Plan du Nord, the people submerge themselves in the mud and make their offerings of rum. Wearing the large straw hat that characterizes the Lua Saka, Fido Pascal, a well-known journalist and veteran of the struggle for freedom of his people against the previous regime, acts as a guide for us. Thanks to him, we were able to discover the real voodoo and avoid the countless obstacles placed in our way by the mafia that limits and sells access to this religion to foreigners. A great deal of ceremonies are performed in cemeteries among the dead. The people are not afraid of these places, and it is commonplace and considered to be a great honor for someone to sleep on his father's grave.